Hello everyone, this is Maszlee, reporter from Sinar Daily. Thank you so much for joining our live today. So right now I am at PKR, Pesta Buku, a very large Pesta Buku in PWTC. So today we have a really special person, which is like kesayangan semua orang, which is our former Education Minister, Dr. Maszlee Malik. Hi sir, how are you?
Hi, Xela.
Thank you so much for joining us today,
I
sir.
thank you guys for inviting me for this interview.
Yeah, so it's been a very long time seeing you. How are you?
Yeah, good, great. I'm doing great. Doing amazing.
Yeah.
So how are you, Xela?
I'm great, sir. I'm great.
Yeah.
So first of all, congratulations for securing a spot in the Central Committee. Yeah, so
Alhamdulillah.
Thank
you. Thank you.
Can you share on how do you feel and how was the party election?
I feel very thankful to the perwakilan who has voted me to be in the MPP again for this term, and I would like to express my utmost gratitude to my cabang members and committees who has been very very supportive and very helpful throughout the campaigns, and not to forget the rest of the members of the party who has been showing and expressing their support for me to be part of this new leadership lineup. Yeah.
That is really great, sir. Actually, this week is kind of huge. There's a lot of things which happened this past week. Starting from PKR, Asean, and also Talk of the Town, which is the resignation of our economic minister.
The two ministers.
Yes. So, what's your take on that? And also,
on which one, ASEAN or?
I mean, for Rafizi and Big Nazmi.
Oh, okay.
So what is your take?
I thought you were asking me about ASEAN.
we could have a little.
Okay.
So what's your take on that? What's the party situation now? Are there even two or three camps?
No, honestly, what's happening now is no different from what had happened previously throughout the how many years? More than 25 years of keadilan as a political party. And I mean, what to expect from political party? There was always turmoil. I mean, throughout the journey, there will always turbulence. There will always be, let me say, skirmishes here and there. The only thing is, the party goes on. I mean, it's not only happened to keadilan, and talking about keadilan, this is not the first time you see this kind of, let me say, rift between the leadership. Previously, we had a severe one during the Sheraton move, Azmin and the rest. And if you dare to go back to 20 years ago, a lot of things happened to the party, but the party goes on. The members are intact strongly, and the reform agenda keep taking its place. Yeah. But looking at other political parties in Malaysia as well, you see things happen. And whether a similar situation, or maybe worse, or maybe not as much as what happened, it happened in UMNO, it happened in PAS, it happened to DAP, it happened to MC, it happened to everyone. I mean, that's part of what we call as political maturity. And, welcome to politics.
Is this like a genuine move or genuine move ke atau macam they follow their emotional ke, or is this like a threat?
Which one?
Move? Both of their resignation.
Oh, their resignation.
Yeah.
I mean, we should respect their choice. I mean, when they choose to resign due to their loss in the party election, as for Rafizi, he lost the deputy presidency to Nuriza. As for Nik Nazmi, he lost to maintain his Naib President post. I mean, it's their choice. You have to respect. Yeah, but although a lot of people, I mean, I was here at the Pesta Buku since the third day or second day, and people keep asking me, I said, why should they mix between party matters and the administratives of the country, of the state? I know their position in the cabinet Bi- boleh scroll down slow sikit kot.
Apa yang dia cakap tu?
No, I think.
Kak Zainab. Dia can ask them to slow down their full sound.
Dia boleh reduce tu makcik tu. Okay. No, it's not.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. Sorry Kak, sorry. Kita orang tengah record. Sorry. minta maaf.
Okay.
I mean, where were we? I forgot.
Like, why are they mixing their
Yeah.
So,
No. I mean, party matters is one thing, and the position in the cabinet is purely administrative, political. I mean, it's about the country. Why they're mixing it? I told them, those who have been asking me, I have no answer for that. They need to ask both of them. But for me, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, it's their choice, their personal choice. And I'm sure they're mature enough to come up with such a decision based on, not only based on their whim, but based on certain, let's just say, pertimbangan, certain considerations that they have made, they have fully thought of, and at least they've made their own decision.
Okay, so like, what's your take right after ASEAN? Because I was there, and to be honest, all the media we were supposed to see Rafizi was there. I was like, hey, he came right after he, lose his position in PKR election.
It was not unexpected, because he has been mentioning that, and in fact he has made his promise that he will resign should he lose to Nuriza. So when he lost, he made his move, and it was expected. And Nazmi's move also was expected, because he has been known widely as a loyal disciple to Rafizi. So when his let me say, boss took such a bold and big decision due to his promise, so Nick Nazmi is following the footstep of his boss.
And also he waited till the ASEAN to finish, right? Because
Which is very professional. Very professional, and we should respect that. He could make that decision during ASEAN, but that would not be a good image for Malaysia. That would reflect a very wrong signal to ASEAN leaders and to the media as a whole. But both of them were professional enough to wait until the end of ASEAN, and then only they submitted their resignation. There are two letters: resignation and their leave application.
Leave application. Yes. Okay, sir. So like, is there like any other like political message might it convey? Like he resigned the day after ASEAN.
You should ask that question to both of them. I cannot answer on behalf of two of them. Yeah.
Okay, so next, going to another topic, which is also during the PKR election, which is nepotism. I think like the word nepotism is more famous than Bollywood. Usually Bollywood only they have a lot of nepotisms.
Oh, really?
And now we're having
I was busy with Sikandar, the latest movie on Netflix. So I think that's more interesting than nepotism, the word nepotism.
Yes, sir. So as for the viewers, as you all know, Nurul Izzah is the daughter of the PKR president, who's also our Prime Minister, Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim. So, sir, and she actually won the deputy president based on the votes. But to ask you, is it based on nepotism?
No, she won the position because she was voted by the Perwakilan. That's why she was there. Should he lost to Rafizi, would people call it nepotism? I'm not sure. But because he won that position, and because she is the daughter of Anwar, then people started accusing of nepotism. I'm wondering, when I was in Bersatu, the chairman of Bersatu was Tun Mahathir, and then the deputy president of Bersatu was Mukhrizuddin Mahathir. But there was never an issue of nepotism. And Najib Tun Razak was a former president of UMNO, and we have got his son in Pemuda UMNO. But why there was not an issue of nepotism? In past, for example, you have Ajay Hadi as a president, and you have his son-in-law in Dewan Ulama, you have his son in Biro Antarabangsa of past, and before him it was the late Tuan Guru Nik Aziz and his son, became Wakil Rakyat, and there was no issue of nepotism. And I mean, if you look at DAP, it's more interesting. You've got the family of Lims and you've got the family of Karpals everywhere. Not only one son or one daughter, I mean the whole family was there. So I think it's not the issue of nepotism, it's the issue of political dynasty. And talking about political dynasty is not only a unique feature of Malaysia. You see in the US, obviously, in Singapore, our neighbor, you have the big Lee and the smaller Lee. But luckily we don't have another smallest Lee in the picture. But I mean, that's normal. But nepotism would be a problem, would become a major problem if any of the leaders appointed directly his family members to a position that should be contested. Number one, or they've been given certain projects or certain tenders, certain perks that's supposed to be contested, that's supposed to be, let me say, tendered, but it was awarded directly to any of the family members. That is nepotism. For example, you would see the case of one of the political parties, the previous Prime Minister awarded, or the son-in-law, was enjoying certain perks that now is a court case. And people couldn't see where is his son, where is son-in-law, because they benefited from their father or father-in-law position as a Prime Minister then for a certain period of months. And now there's an ongoing cases also on the son-in-law of another previous Prime Minister who is now being interrogated by the SPRM. Not only that, and certain other previous Prime Minister also being interrogated by SPRM, not only him, but also his son and also son-in-law, due to the wealth that they acquired and been deposited abroad. So those are nepotism. Yeah, because the sons or son-in-law or whatever, they were not elected by the people, they were not elected by the public, but they've been awarded certain chunk of wealth that's supposed to be distributed fairly through a fair tender process and procurement process. But it didn't happen. And the biggest nepotism is one of the previous minister during PN period has been smuggling and hiding cooking oil. That's the biggest nepotism.
Wow, that's a lot actually. Which has not come to surface. Like right away you say, Because but then sir, when I go to the media, when I go to the comments, some are calling her appointment, Nur Izzat's appointment as nepotism, but some, they say she deserves that because dia berlantang, like very outspoken, very bold, and she always come forward and she deserves that spot.
At the end of the day, she has been elected by the Perwakilan. And definitely, we cannot underestimate the keadilan's Perwakilan. Normally, they will vote based on the credentials and credibility of the candidates. Honestly, Rafizi was an amazing candidate. Nuriza, similarly, was a magnificent candidate. So it makes the Perwakilan then in a very tough and difficult condition to choose either one of them. But eventually they have decided, and as we respect the process of democracy, we also respect the choice of the Perwakilan.
Okay, so moving forward, can Nurul Izzat being the president's daughter only enhances or complicate her leadership prospect within PKR and also potentially the cabinet? So should political parties set clearer protocols to address public concerns over nepotism in leadership role?
Such as? Could you give me an example of that?
Not sure, maybe they should have a clearer protocols
If a father holds certain period, hence the mother or the son cannot hold any office barrier.
That should be not fair, right?
I don't know, but now I think post-COVID, the country is in a very difficult situation. Throughout the 33 months of Perikatan Nasional Administration, it did not bring the country to anywhere better. So we were having a very tough situation economically, politically, in terms of health, in terms of education, and if you look at the international ranking, in many aspects we have been left behind. But thanks to the new government, since PMX took the leadership, there had been a lot of improvements, economically, financially, in terms of investment, in terms of politics. I would say a lot of reforms have been taken at the level of parliament, at the level of administration, at the level of civil servants, and now we are on the right track. I think the country is moving on the right track. A lot of indicators have been showing that we keep improving from day to day. So I think we need to put the priority of the country, the priority of the people before anything else. So the pace that this government is taking the lead to bring the country, or to lift the country towards the position that it deserves, should not be, let me say, distracted with some kind of any rushing calls for certain, maybe later would be something ideal, but at the moment we should put the priority on the economic reform, on the economic recovery. Yeah.
Understand, sir. So moving forward on cabinet stability and restructuring. So now they said they might restructure, right? The cabinet reshuffle.
Who said that?
In the event of a mid-term reshuffle, there might be a cabinet reshuffle.
There might be.
Yeah.
It's a hypothetical question. I thought the Prime Minister told you.
There might be, like in the
There might be,
yeah.
and there might be not.
Yeah. So if there is a reshuffle, so do you think?
Again, it's a hypothetical question. Yeah.
Do you believe the unity government has enough capable leaders to replace Rafizi and Nik Nazmi?
I would say that the country has a lot of talents, not only within the unity government, even with outside the unity government. I mean, we're talking about Malaysians, be them the political leaders, be them the technocrats. We have a lot of brains, we have a lot of talents, and sometimes I would say that we don't really put appreciation on the talents that we have. So coming back to your question, definitely I'm sure the Prime Minister has already got the contingency plan within his mind. I mean, yeah, he's number one. He can see, he can look at the political scenario with an eagle eye and with 360-degree vision. Yeah.
So which means they are prepared lah, like
I'm not sure they, but
prepared.
I think the Prime Minister is more than prepared. And normally, I mean, being a politician, you must have in your mind contingency plans, backup plans, whatever. What more? The Prime Minister. Yeah.
Okay, so also what is your comment? Because some has proposed like merging the ministry like to like merge economy and finance, and also or like MITI to reduce the reduct. So which means
you need to ask them, those who are proposing that. I never had that imagination in my mind. That's too wild. No, I'm just joking. I mean, you need to ask them. I never had that in my mind.
Okay, so also if
I'm only with the idea of merging between the higher education and Ministry of Education, because I couldn't see no, not I couldn't see. I believe in the continuity of education from the foundation to the tertiary education. It should be in one. But you know, that's my very personal point of view. As for the government and the Prime Minister, they know best. Yeah.
Okay, so next moving on to our Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim's leadership and also his reform agenda. Back then, I was one of the media doing the GE15 and I covered the Pakatan Harapan punya kira pengundi dekat yang Subanjaya tu. So I was there and I saw how wild fans and Malaysians were. They wanted Anwar to win and he won. like the
I
5
was
years.
there too.
Okay, yes, so I was one of the reporters.
Saujana Hotel, am I right?
Yeah, dekat Subang tu, Dorset.
Dorset is not Saujana.
So,
Dorset. I was there. Yeah.
So I saw how people, they were like out of their mind. They wanted even So, but now I see like some are having a disagreement, and like the next GE is like in another 2 years. So I don't know how it's going to be with all these things happening now. So
Where did you pick up that?
it's me. Because I am seeing what are the people talking, like the comments. Sometimes when I meet people, they are saying this to me. So I feel okay, like they are just wondering how the next GE is going to be and all. So I'm asking, like, with all these political developments, like, do you think Anwar Ibrahim can maintain his position as Prime Minister in the next GE?
Who can replace him? I mean, if people, according to what you say, if people is having a second thought in their mind about replacing him, but who can replace him? At the moment, at least at the moment, because I couldn't think of anybody else who could take this country at this pace to bring the country forward and to maintain the economic recovery that the government is leading. And we could see the wise leadership of Anwar Ibrahim, whether you like him or not, but he is the glue for the unity government, and he is the dynamo of this economic recovery and bringing this country forward. But you say that people, according to your words, people having less enthusiasm about him in compared to 3 years ago. But who did they have in their mind? Haji Adi or Mahyudin Yassin? At the moment, we are left with no ideal choice except Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim. Not because it's my party president, but that is the reality.
Yes.
At least, take off my party cap, and if I'm talking as a normal citizen, I would utter the same thing, because at the moment we are left with no other ideal and realistic choice apart from Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim. At least from my very personal point of view, that I trust it's been shared by vast majority of the people in Malaysia. Of course, dissatisfaction is always there. I mean, they don't like him because of this, because of that. So remember, I met certain young people, they said, oh, he's too old for that. I said, okay, if you want a younger leader, who can replace him? They couldn't find with any other alternative. And some said, oh, I don't like him because he used the word ketimbang a lot. I said, come on, is that the word ketimbang that you're worried of, and you don't worry about the future of the country, the future of your children? I mean, put aside the ketimbang and look at the bright side of what he has been doing and how he's leading the country. And dissatisfactions are normal here and there, but at the end of the day, I think he's on the right track, and is the best ideal choice that we have at the moment, and idealistic and realistic choice that we have at the moment.
I agree to you, that's okay, so
and definitely his opponent or the political element say, ni menjilat lah, ni angkat bodek. No, just put aside. Even if I don't belong to keadilan, just name me any other alternative other than Anwar Ibrahim. I couldn't find any. People might have in their mind, but for me, I couldn't find any other person. Yeah.
This could be like an eye-opening to those who are like kidding. Alright, so moving to the next about our education minister Fadila Siddiq of the education ministry. Okay, critics actually, they have called her as being like emotional, and she couldn't take criticism. She struggles to handle criticism. So
who are those critics?
There are many, netizens. They are the biggest critics.
Okay.
Netizens, sorry. So they are like saying that how we handle macam ni. So we actually go through. Let me just collect. Alright, so as a former education minister, so how do you evaluate her performance and the public's reaction?
Okay, I'm not in a position to evaluate anyone, any of the ministers, and what more the one that is serving and doing their job. But the one who can evaluate them are the stakeholders, the teachers, the educationists, the parents, the education fraternities, and media like you guys, and maybe you said the netizens. As for me, I reserve my comments.
Okay, sir. Actually, I came across a post where a person like they were saying lah, like if there's a cabinet reshuffle or what, if there is a need for a new education minister, so who would you think is suitable? So I read the comment and most of them they said you.
Oh, really?
They named you, yeah, they tagged you. You should see the post. It's like
You can share it with me.
Yeah. So everyone are naming you. Even teachers, they say, as a teacher, I would like want you to become the education minister. so like, would you be open to a cabinet
No,
post?
there are two things. Again, you're asking me a hypothetical question. Number one, when it comes to teachers and educationists and the education fraternity, the other day when I was interviewed, I keep saying that I'm trying to detach them from my heart, but they refuse. They keep coming back and they refrain to leave my heart. And I cannot blame them. I cannot blame myself for that. I think mainly because we all believe in education as the best tool to ensure not only the development of this country, but the stability and the continuity and the, sustainability of the prosperity of the country that we enjoy nowadays. And we trust that Malaysia deserves much better than what we had today. The only conduit for it is education. And number two, talking about that, it just reminds me of Rafizi's note, his long letter that he wrote upon his resignation. He said that RM 13 will mainly focusing on education reform. It's going to be a massive, colossal thing for the country. And I think it's not only what Rafizi had in his mind, but also the vision of the Prime Minister that he shared with Rafizi. Because when you talk about RM, be it 13 or 12 or whatever we continue, it's a collective effort by all ministries and guided by the vision of the Prime Minister. It's going to be a massive thing. If we look at the condition of the education at the moment, I'm not sure whether the ministry can handle that big thing. It requires a dedicated leadership, a firm, and those who know what the Prime Minister wants and what they wanted it to be. And it requires a holistic way in looking into education, not only at the foundational level, but also at the tertiary level. If you ask me, my very personal point of view, maybe in the next term, the Prime Minister himself should take that portfolio as the Minister of Education. Because we can see the performance of our economy, the performance of our, financial stability is on the right track, and the best person to lead the educational reform is the Prime Minister himself.
Wow, this is unexpected, but yeah.
The netizens, they can say whatever they want. The teachers, they can say whatever they want. If only choosing the minister is just like you choosing the winner of Academy Pantasia through the votes or whatever, that would be a wishful thing to happen. But no, we want to look at the future of our country. We want the best for our people. We want the best for our children. And we know that Malaysia deserves better. Who understand best of the reform that we aspire for is the Prime Minister himself. Let him lead the Ministry of Education.
So, can he, because as a Prime Minister, also as a Finance Minister, and also?
Means he need to appoint somebody else to lead the Ministry of Finance. And we have a lot of talent. And even now we have 2 deputies for his finance minister. Finance minister, am I right?
Yes, yes.
Yep.
Okay, that is a really, really nice statement. Okay. Okay, sir.
Put the country first.
Yes, I can agree to that. Okay, sir, so next, this is something like we all cannot ignore, and this has been happening the whole year lah, which is best bus, Bella Astila and Shishani.
Oh. At first, somebody was mentioning bass. Is it bass or bass? Bass, bass, or whatever. I thought it's a bass guitar. Yeah. And then they said, oh, Bella Astila said Sadiq. I said, what? Yeah.
Did you come to their
No,
videos?
I didn't follow their videos and their advertisement and the promotions. But sometime news and some snippets of the video did come across my wall, but I don't really pay much attention to those because Syed Sadiq was a student of mine when I was in International Islamic University, and we were together in Bersatu. I mean, he's a smart young chap, young leader, and I mean, he knows what he's doing. So when you ask him about bass, bars, or whatever, I may not have an adequate information about that thing, but I trust he knows what he's doing. Yeah.
Okay, so actually...
Hey, what about his court case?
So
I haven't heard of it.
Yeah, I'm going to come into that.
Oh, really?
So yeah, now they have their next
yeah.
hearing. Yes, I'm not sure what's the date, I'm sorry, but yeah, they have his next
I know
hearing.
least about it. I know least about it.
Postponing and all. Alright, sir. But then, because of this best or bus, I'm sorry if I mentioned it wrongly, they are like his court case has been quiet, and more like attention goes to this bus, right? So like him and Bella, like with their charity work in Muar, and also they are like helping everyone with their TikTok videos, charities and all. So do you think this is a genuine support, or or a case of like a public distraction?
Oh, it's interesting. I think media people, they know best. People like you. But for a politician like me, I would say, based on my evaluation, sometimes Malaysians, they adore light, simple, interesting entertainment. Alamak. Sorry. Oh, dia melompat pula. Did I move a lot?
No.
Tak betul. Boleh.
Okay.
Oh. Okay, now you stick back. Okay. They I mean, Malaysians, I would say mainly, vast majority of Malaysians, they don't like heavy stuff, they don't like serious stuff and what more painful stuff. So when there are entertainments from anyone, there are interesting things and very light. I mean, they would enjoy it, they would rejoice it, and they would celebrate it. So, Wallahu alam, I never follow that buzz, whatever it is. But I think Malaysians like that. Wah, Ujang, my very favorite cartoonist, big fan. Okay, sorry. Okay, Abang Ujang. Tengah live. Terima kasih. Ni buku terbaru Abang Ujang. Saya meminati Abang Ujang daripada umur 13 tahun.
Oh, that's a true fan.
Oh, big fan.
Okay, so
coming back to bass bars or whatever.
You would have said that Malaysians love this kind of thing.
Oh,
don't
yes,
you?
yes.
Okay, so like, do you believe like this public relationship is being used as their strategic PR, or like move to manage public perceptions amid their legal case?
Who am I to judge that? I have least knowledge about all these things. Only media people knows best.
Okay,
only media people can say that, but not a politician like me. Yeah.
Okay, so we have come to the end for the last question.
Oh,
Yeah.
cepat betul.
And you also answer like straight to the point. It's very easy for us.
Really?
Yeah.
Tak payah nak potong-potong
This is also for the last question. So we are entering June this
Oh, it's
Sunday.
getting more interested over there.
Yeah, so we are like the June dah.
Yes,
honey.
yes,
So like
June.
6 months has like just going to 6 months. 5 months has just passed.
Time flies.
Yeah. So, like, how would you rate the first half of the year for Malaysia, and what do you hope for with the second half of the year coming?
I think I've mentioned I've mentioned repeatedly saying that we're on the right track. Economic recovery is there, and you could see a tremendous performance of Malaysia at international level. A lot of multi MNCs coming to Malaysia for investment. FDI is picking up, and our currency has been improving throughout the months. And I would see this coming months and this coming years, Malaysia will do better, and you'll see a lot of surprises to come. And after the ASEAN plus GCC summit that we had, trust me, Malaysia would not be the same as it was before November 2022.
Nice.
Yeah, trust me. Yeah, I would bet on that.
Alright, sir, that is great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for answering questions, because
I thank you for imposing all those questions on me.
because these are the questions we go through whenever I go live. You know, people will be questioning. We cannot answer. I have to talk with someone like you,
Really?
experienced person.
Thank
to
you,
you know,
thank you.
sometimes when I go by Grab also, when they know I'm a reporter, they will ask, how is this going? I cannot answer.
Wow. The Grab driver is asking the reporter.
because
Normally, only you asking us.
because we are like on the ground.
Yeah.
So when they know, they are asking, okay, how is this going on?
Yeah.
So I can only answer when I get point of view from you. So I hope after this,
And they are the voice of the ground.
Yes.
They are the voice of the ground. And I think you would get more answers from them than from people like me.
That is why most of the questions were pointed to you.
Oh,
sir. Based
thank
on
you.
what the-
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you, Sinar Daily, for that.
Okay, so we hope as a reporter we can deliver what's the good thing, and from yours,
Of
definitely
course.
there's a lot.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you
a
so
lot
much,
for
sir,
your
for today.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining, and see you in the next episode.